All right, we've got our last example of this section, and I would say that neither one of these sides is really simpler than the other. Maybe this one is slightly simpler because it has just one quantity in the denominator, so I'll work with the more complicated side. I'm going to replace tan with sine over cosine, and then I'll replace secant with 1 over cosine. And I'm going to multiply top and bottom by cos theta. And that's because I'm going to cancel out denominators in both the top and bottom, which is nice. So I'll be left with sine theta over cos theta plus 1. Well, I can see that somehow I want to end up with a denominator of tan theta, and I want to end up with secant theta minus 1 on the top. Well, to end up with tan theta on the bottom, I can think about my different identities for tan. So let's go back and look at these. If I can somehow have secant squared minus 1, then I could have tan squared. So let's see how I could end up with secant squared minus 1. Starting originally, if I had not done this, then I could have created secant squared minus 1 by multiplying top and bottom by 1 minus secant squared. So let's actually undo this and leave the original as it was, and instead multiply top bottom by our identity. Sorry, not our identity. We're going to multiply top bottom by 1 minus secant. And then this is nice because I'm pretty close to getting what I wanted over here. So I'll have tan theta times 1 minus secant theta over 1 minus secant squared theta. So remember, my identity was, or is, present tense, secant theta minus 1 is tan squared. So let's just add that down into our bottom here. Okay. So if we have, now we also want, secant squared minus 1. So I'm going to multiply top bottom by a negative as well. So I can totally do that. Multiply top bottom by negative 1. That now means in my denominator, I have this identity. So if we take this and move it out of our way again. All right. So I have my identity in the bottom. I'm going to replace that with tan squared. And then that's really nice because my tans cancel. So I have left basically what I'm looking for. So let's just simplify it out. We'll have negative 1 minus secant theta over tan theta. And then rearranging so it looks exactly like the top, that's secant theta minus 1 over tan theta, which is our right-hand side as we wanted. So sometimes you'll start an identity and find that it's not going the way you want it to. So remember to go back and look at your formulas and also look at the right-hand side to think about what you want to have. So we can get tan theta either by having sine over cosine, or we can get tan squared and then hope that things cancel out.